Welcome back to another market breakdown. Today is February the 8th on a Sunday, and right now we are looking at gold on the weekly time frame. The question that we all have, right, is will gold be going in an up direction or a down direction? And the first thing that I always make sure that I identify is what direction are we in for the week. That's the first thing I'm trying to figure out, right? So this is the weekly time frame that we're looking at, and just based off of first look at the overall structure. The overall structure, we can see that we're clearly still in a uptrend, right? Price is still going up. And then we also can see how on the previous week we closed bullish, but this was an interesting candle because on the week before that, we can see how price, you know, pushed all the way up, creating this high, and then just all of a sudden it shot down, closing bears. So that was a huge sell-off. And then on the next week, price ended up opening, pushing all the way down, coming up, creating this high, and then closing. So the real question is, was this a real sell-off, right? Because one thing when looking at charts, right? Charts don't just move charts, right? Emotions what move charts. Things that goes around the world is what move charts, right? Because all chart shows, it just shows the emotion of what happened, what caused the market move. So based on this, right? Like I said, the question is are we will be pushing up this week or pushing down? Well, the real question is, was this a real sell-off? So we can see how price already bounced off of this support level right here, right? And we kind of right above this 5,000 level, right? Now, usually from a candle perspective, right, we can see how price, we did close bullish the previous week. So what we can expect is for price to retrace down like it did. So far, price on this opening candle, price already done retrace 0.27%, so almost about 30%. 30% is used like a golden level, you know what I'm saying, from a daily perspective of a retracement. So from there, if we are going to be bullish for the day, from there it should keep going up. But throughout the week, it does have the potential to retrace down to these levels right here, right? But if it end up retracing deeper past this third level, then at that point we can expect price to be pushing down lower. So personally, I don't think this is today. Today is going to be more of a observing day to really see how we do. Now we did close bullish on this previous day, which is a good sign, right? So we kind of want to see how this is going to close because we want to make sure that, okay, look, from a structure standpoint, which I can see this clear as day, right? I can see how price, if I draw this out, I can see how price came down, came up, and made this fell low. So we want to see price break out of this retest and then continue going higher. So this is kind of like the idea concept of what we want to see if price is to continue to go higher. Catching my drift. So the good sign is we did close bullish. So like I said, what we want to see is we want to make sure that, okay, hey, this wasn't a real sell because people probably could have been panicking right here, which caused price to drop, especially how hard this rolled down, right? So obviously it's a lot of other things that influence this, but we know just from an emotion standpoint, we know people are becoming um, uh, either they're taking profit or panicking. Now usually, so based off of this, we did close bullish, so we want to see if price is going to end up pushing, either remain bullish for today or it is going to continue to push back down. So that's kind of how we're looking into that. So overall, we're bullish on the weekly so far, and we are currently in a transition. We are on this support level, so we kind of want to see if we're going to break back above here, right? To confirm that this is going to hold, because we did have some rejections right here. So I'm gonna put a level right here. We had some nice rejections right here. This is very key to pay attention to. How would price react at this zone around 5,126? How would it react off of this resistance when it come back into here? Because if we zoom in on this on daily time frame, right, we can see the last time that price came into here, this level right here, where price pushed up into here of this range, right? Just kind of so you can see where this range came from. So this came from this huge down move right here, right? So what we want to see is, okay, hey, last time we came into this range, this daily range that caused this huge move down, price retraced down. So now we want to see, okay, hey, will it be able to break out of this retest, continue to go higher? So that's what we kind of want to watch for and pay attention to. Because right now, this is just shows that we're just in a transition. Can it potentially push back up? Of course it can. So, but we want to confirm that. Now go to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we do have a nice push so far. So we can see how the opening is already pushing up, right? Showing us that we in a nice little uptrend so far on the 4 hours. So far, yeah, it's looking good. We just want to see, okay, hey, can we already above 5,000? Like I told y'all, and we do get if we get above 5,000, then it's a buy opportunity. But as you can see, last time that we got above 5,000, what it did, it pushed up maybe 1 4 hour candle. After that, retraced right back down. But the real key is that it never came back below here. So we are above the 50-day moving average shoe as well. So, but I would definitely wait to confirm to see this push up. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we want to make sure that, okay, hey, buyers are still in control, and that this huge dip down was not actually start of price wanting to go back down lower. But that's my input for gold. And then looking at yields, we can see how yields actually let's see, yields actually close very indecisive. We still on this support level at the end of the day. So you can see how yields is pushing back up. So it still broke out of it and it's on a whole nother support level. So regardless, despite of it being range bound, we're still here. So if at any moment, as you can see, yields is already showing signs of positive that it want to push up at any moment. If it keep pushing up, then that's another sign for gold. Because if yield is going up, gold is going down. And if yield is going down, gold is going up. So regardless, it still didn't break back below here. It's still above here. We still show a potential of strong momentum that we can see price push up. So if it show any signs throughout the week that it want to continue to respect this level and push through here, especially past here, then that'd be more signs. Okay, hey, look, gold can potentially continue to drop lower. Now let's look at DXY. For those who don't know what that is, that's the US dollar index. So on the weekly, right, we can see here on the weekly, that we was in a nice downward trend, right? And then we're currently still in this transition phase right here. So the question is, when it comes down to this right here, and we can see how price also rejected 3 times off of this support level. So that's very key right there. So the question is this, like, okay, hey, look, are we going to continue to push down, or at some point will buyers come back in? Because there are signs of price making this rejection 3 times. So can this be where price transition and actually push above this and start going back up higher? So we won't know until it actually until price tell us what it want to do next. At that point, you really just understand by. But we are on the more bearish side more than anything, especially after that huge push. We just want to see, okay, at what point will buyers take back control? Because technically, we are still underneath this range right here where price can push back down. So, which is what it's doing so far. So, if we go to the daily, we can see here. So, in other words, right now we're underneath this zone right here, which is where it's resisting that of the overall picture of that down move, and we had a nice rejection. So, if price happened to, from a structure standpoint, we can see how price came up, came down, kept making higher highs. Now we're here. So if price happened to break back below this level right here, then at that point that'd be a clear sign to see price start pushing back down lower. And then on the 4 hour, you're kind of getting more of that. So you can see how we're overbought on our side, how prices start expanding down. We are on this baseline, so this baseline usually after price is overbought and price come down to a baseline, it usually is a sign to see price reset and push back up higher. But if it continues dipping lower, then we want to see this. If this does break this level, like I told y'all, because you can see how price was a nice uptrend. You can see how that's starting to kind of slowly slow down. So if it break this main low right here, that'd be a clear sign to see it continue to start pushing back down, because we technically are in a downtrend technically. We just have these rejection off of this support level, as you can see here when it came down and pushed up. So we'll see what it's gonna do. Like I said, today's more of a watchful day to see what price is gonna do. So so what that means for stuff like UJ, well, we can see here that on UJ on the we had a nice bullish CRT set up the previous week. It has not taken its range out, but we can say this, that from this perspective, we are still on top of this range. Anything can still happen. So yes, we did have a nice bullish week, and usually from a bullish week, you expect price to retrace down and then work its way back up. The real question is, every time we come to on top of this range, price always end up dropping. At the same time, DXY is already showing bearish signals already. So the question is, we'll be able to finally push through this, because last time we was here from a quarterly perspective, you can see here, price dropped down for 6 months straight. So it's like, we'll do that again, you know what I'm saying? As we come into here, like it has already did when it came to it drop. And right now, we're at the last up candle before this down move. So that's where I got this box from, if we wonder. And you can see how prices are reacting off of that. So this is going to be very interesting. This candle right here, usually, like I said, this should show a bullish week. So technically, from this candle perspective, we should be pushing back up higher. So it just all depends what price do. But I will be cautious, because we are at this level where price shot down very hard, as you can see here. You can see here that price shot down very hard, and now we kind of at this area where it broke out of. You can see how price is reacting off of that. So kind of want to be cautious and see. So if the day closed bearish off of this level, that'd be a clear sign that this can push down back lower. I'm just being honest. It all depends. That's why I say Sunday going to Monday is really more of a watchful day to see how we can determine how next week is going to be. So, I mean, how the week can be, not next week, but how this week can be. So let's go to the 4-hour. Yeah, as you can see here, you can see how we're overbought, and you can see how price is slowly, slowing down, showing signs that I want to push back down lower. So this is where you got to kind of like, be cautious, So other than that, as always, like I always tell y'all, have proper risk management. Do not overtrade. Do not allow your emotions to take over. Cut your losses short. The motto is the goal is to try to survive long enough to win. As long as you survive long enough to win, you can continue playing the game. So you want to be able to survive long enough to be able to play the game constantly. We're not trying to be right or wrong. We're just trying to survive long enough to win to where we can be profitable. And if we can do that, then you can be profitable. So other than that, I hope y'all have a good trading week, and I will see you on the next market breakdown.